Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Got an amazing show for you today. We're going to talk about the opportunities in business here in Miami with my good friend Matt Haggman. Matt's with the Bekah Carlson. Opportunity Miami is his silo. We're going to talk about the opportunities in Miami. And then the second half of the show, we're going to have my marketing team on, and we're going to talk about how to build your personal brand with social media and podcasting and all the great things that I do. We'll have Andreas Senie on. We'll have Bekah Carlson, and we may even have a video cameo appearance from REAGAN MENDOZA. So stick with us. We've got a tremendous show. We'll be right back with Matt Haggman after a quick break to sell a couple of cars. Hey everybody, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at Biscayne 105th. Up in Gainesville, well, they got their Audi store up there. It's a really great place. And down in the Keys, well, they're storing the Keys. They sell all the great nameplates. What do all these stores have in common? Well, all the cars are great cars, and all the cars come with the Warren Henry Advantage. What's the Warren Henry Advantage? It's a complimentary group of services that you get when you buy your car from Warren Henry. It includes complimentary loaner. It includes complimentary key replacement. If you scratch up your rims, they'll help polish them up and keep your car looking good. Of course, when you buy the car, they're going to make sure you get the best price for your used car. They're going to make sure you get the best price for your new car. And you get 3 days to return your car. If you don't like it, guess what? Nobody returns their cars. Everybody loves their cars. So join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, lots and lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
It's time to stop the hate and spread some love. You are beautiful, you're smart, you are awesome, and you never have to change for anybody. You have the voice and you have the power. We are so much stronger when we come together. It's your choice, so choose to be inspired. Choose to be accepting, be strong, be brave, be awesome, be daring, be kind. Choose kindness.
All right. Hey, everybody. Love always wins when you're here in Miami and on the Freed on Business show. And hey, give me a call. I work with all kinds of families. In fact, I'm meeting with an investment fund right after the show. We're going to talk about great ways to do pref equity on deals that a lot of my families are working on. I've got another family that's got a pool, a portfolio, a pipeline of great deals. I've got another client that I closed with last year, and we're buying residential lots all across the state. What do all my clients and I have in common? Well, we all work together, and they know one thing. They know that when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. We've been working a real long time to get this all set up. We've got a good friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time. Matt Haggman's with us today. Matt works with the Bekah Carlson. He'll tell us what the Bekah Carlson is. And he works with Opportunity Miami, which is a whole outreach that the Bekah Carlson is doing. So, Mr. Mendoza, let's bring on Matt. There he is.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great, Matt. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. I love your studio. Where is that? Where are you? Where are you? Is this home you do this from?
This is the studio in my house.
I love it.
Thank you so much. We worked really hard to do this. I actually sat here in my chair and Mr. Mendoza told me where to put the different artwork and how to move my camera and everything. And the reality is that I don't have my camera boosted today. So there's a little bit too up the nose view here. We'll switch that in a couple of minutes.
It looks great. Is that an Ozzie Guillen jersey over your left shoulder?
Beyond that, what that really is, where is it?
There we go.
Yes, that's his hand-signed, wore it at the game jersey. Okay, so when they give the shirt off the back, that's what that is. And it's a great story, too, because he left town and took the jersey with him, and the team had to go chase him and make him send the jersey back. Then he came back as the manager of the White Sox the following year, and he didn't know what was going on. So I threw a pen at him, and I threw the shirt at him. He goes, just signed it and threw it back at me. So he doesn't even know about that. But it was a great story.
Wow, that's good stuff. Well, I love your background. As you can tell, where I am right now, it sort of looks like a hostage video a little bit. But I'm actually in my office, which needs some decorating. But
we need to get you some maps, Matt. We need to get you some maps.
Jim,
my background is all me. There's Bruce Springsteen up there. There's me and Andy Anson and the Herald up there. Well, I don't know how to do it, but over there is the property. Over there is the painting I bought at the education fund it's beautiful. Yeah. There's the Marlins everywhere. I got everything over there. It's all about me.
That's the old Dolphin State. No, that's the Orange Bowl of your right shoulder. What is
that's the I Love You Miami baseball hit that the guy made. That's a great council hit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And there's the first. That's the ticket from the first game. Oh, I've got it all. And of course,
you went to the first game?
Oh yeah, I've been to season ticket.
Charlie Huff started that game, right?
Yes, it was hot as hell too. We were wearing hats, and then we put like napkins on our neck because it was so hot. We were going to get our neck burned. Oh my god! But hey, Matt, when I was growing up,
Jim,
we only had the Dolphins. Now we have the Dolphins, the Marlins, the Panthers, and the Heat. We got it going here, and the soccer team.
And we got Inter Miami, and now this weekend F1. Are you going?
I'm actually going to an F1 event, but I'm not going to be. I'll actually be heading up there because I'm going. My mom lives up there. I'm going up to see that. But I have a lot of friends that are going to the F1 event. I have one guy that bought like 10 tickets, and those tickets aren't cheap. F1 is the most expensive thing.
So Danette and I are going up this weekend. We can't wait. We're really excited. But Jim, so over the last year and a half, so I watched Drive to Survive. If you haven't seen Drive to Survive, you should watch it. So this is the Netflix series on Formula One. There are 4 seasons now. Jim, I am a fanatic. And last year I watched every race. Unlike, early Sunday mornings from Bahrain, watching the F1 race, right? Or, wherever, from Imola or Monaco or all the different places. I love it. So Jim, if you want like a little F1 primer ahead of your event and just a little, I'll give you little things you can drop during the conversation, call me. I can make an expert out of you 20 minutes or less.
Let me tell you what the most important part that I want to talk to you about the F1 event is, and you better know this part. I hear that the economic impact of the F1 event is bigger than the Super Bowl. How about that? What's the story on that?
Well, from ticket prices, I sure hope so. I mean, this is more than that. I mean,
dude, it's like $1,000 for general admission for the whole weekend.
And that's, and then of course with the markup, it's so many multiples. It's extraordinary, the energy. So it's awesome that it's here, and I'm really intrigued to see, how they've been looking at all the pictures, obviously, of the track and the experience that they're creating as the track, weaves around Hard Rock Stadium. But it looks so cool, and can't wait to see it. My guy is Lewis Hamilton.
Okay.
So Jim, you 7-time winner. Only Michael Schumacher's equaled that as a 7-time world champion. And it's a really interesting time to be a Lewis Hamilton fan because he's going through a really rough stretch right now.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and the track ain't so great because I have friends that drove the track before they sealed it off. But we're spending a lot of time on F1.
Sorry,
I really want to talk about Opportunity Miami. Look, I love you, and it's like a phone call right now. But let's talk to the people for a second, bud.
How much time do we have for this? What, we don't have the full hour? What?
No, we're going to do, well, dude, we can do as much as you want, but the reality is that I'd really like to do I'd like to do the 2 segments with you and then have you back in a couple of weeks after we've done some. But really, tell me a little bit about, Danette, when you watch this is a message straight to you. Boy, are you a blessing, Danette. Let me tell you. So listen, Matthew, which I love you, by the way. Tell me a little bit about the Beacon Council and then a little bit about Opportunity in Miami. Set the table, and we'll go deep dive on Opportunity in Miami.
Absolutely, Jim. So Jim, I got here a little over a year ago. The Beacon Council is the economic development organization for Greater Miami, for Miami-Dade County, tasked with recruiting businesses here, helping them expand here. And Beacon, though, also had this initiative that previously was called One Community, One Goal. That's not just focused on sort of the Miami of this week or the next quarter or the next year, but let's think about the Miami 5 years from now, 10 years from now, even 20 years from now from an economic perspective. And what are those things that we need to be doing as a community to solve for, and how do we rally the community around addressing them? The last iteration, One Community, One Goal, was in 2012. You might remember there was some 400-odd page report that was published that did things like identifying target industries that we should really focus on, trying to bring together universities in something called the Academic Leaders Council that was all around sort of thinking about what are those jobs of the future and how do we go about continuing to organize ourselves well to help build those jobs. And in fact, in that report, it talked about how Miami had actually reached a really interesting critical mass in terms of educational resources, but so many people were leaving. And in fact, that report actually had the alarming observation that Miami was educating workers for other communities. So now, 9 years later, I had the great privilege to come on board with the idea of reimagining, thinking about what's that next iteration of One Community, One Goal. Mission stays the same. We're thinking about our economic future, the next 5, 10, 20 years, trying to move beyond election and news cycles and think about what are those key priorities for our future. And in doing that deep dive, we decided it's time for a new name, a new focus, and a new strategy. And that's what we've launched just late last year.
It's really tremendous. The second half of the show is about branding and rebranding. So maybe you want to stick on and talk about that too, because you just did it. But really, Miami, I grew up here. When I grew up here, you had tourism, you had agriculture, and you had tourism and real estate. Okay. Now we don't have as much agriculture. I'm hoping we're getting a little bit more technology. I'm going to this Bloomberg thing on Friday that's teed up to be with the Formula One. So it'll be interesting. I always enjoy meeting people outside my unified silo and like.
What's the Bloomberg thing you're going on Friday?
I have to look it up. Yeah, it's a Bloomberg leadership thing. It's at the Edition Hotel. The mayor's speaking at 12. I have a conflict at 12 because the future governor of the state of Florida is going to be speaking somewhere, and I have to go see her since I set it up. And I'm very excited about that too. But the reality is that we have to be something that attracts everybody too. And I don't want to talk politics on the show, but I do want to talk about having an open economy that's fruitful for everybody, that's omnivorous. And that's something we've never really had in Florida. You hit on it about our education system. People always saw that wasn't a strength. It's a strength now. And, we're going to go to break. And then when we're going to come back, we're going to talk about exactly what's going on in Miami. Matt, go ahead.
No, after the break, I want to tell you about what we're focused on for Opportunity in Miami.
That's what I want. I want to get it into one segment so we can use it and begin something that you can send around to people to show your vision of the future. Matt Haggman, visionary and implementer. Mr. Mendoza, take it away. I just love these little vignettes that Mr. Mendoza picks for us to have in our transitional times. Thank you so much for everything you do, Mr. Mendoza. We'll talk about you after the half hour. Right now, we're talking about Opportunity Miami with my good friend, Matt Haggman. And one of the examples of what great opportunity there is in Miami, what visionaries we have in Miami, what thought leaders we have in Miami is the Zinn family. Thank you to Warren for his great philanthropy that he's doing. Thanks to Eric Day and his forward-thinking ideas. Thank you to Larry Zinn for implementing those ideas and stirring it all up and being the cherry on the top of the ideas. Thank you for Maytel Stark for taking care of my car at all times. And of course, thank you to Samantha Wolf for putting it all together for us. Hey, remember, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why I have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne in Gainesville. They sell Audi. Down in the Keys, they've got all their great nameplates. And what do all the cars have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. That means you get, well, of course, a complimentary loaner if your car is in for service for any period of time. You get key replacement. Those keys cost $100. They'll replace them if you lose them. Hey, if you're like me, I like to park my car close to the curb because I don't like to get hit when people go by. Well, if you scrape your rims, hey, Warren Henry will pay for them to get polished up. Worried about whether you're going to get a good price on your trade-in? Warren Henry will make sure you get a great price on your trade-in. Your new car price, they'll guarantee that that's tremendous too. And if you don't like your car, that never happens, but they'll give you 72 hours to decide whether you do like your car or not. You can trade it back in if you don't like it. Guess what? Nobody ever trades it in. They all love their cars. So join my beautiful wife, Vivian, my mom, a lot of my friends, and of course, I've been a member of the Warren Henry family for decades. Hey, join us. And remember, always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
This is Bekah Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Bekah, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
They do such a great job. You'll hear from them on the second half of the show where we talk about building your brand and marketing yourself. I continue to evolve. I surround myself with the experts and then I take their advice, and you'll hear the experts giving me the advice in the second half of the show. When am I the expert? Well, I'm the expert if you need a real estate deal. Give me a call. I have great inventive capital market solutions. I met with a couple of young guys yesterday, not new to the business, but new to their company, and we're going to help them capitalize their real estate deals with some of my partners out in New York. Just had a call that I was on just now with ESG. We're going to help another client of mine become more attractive to pension funds and family offices by getting them in the ESG space and wrapping them up with the kind of things that people are looking for in today's world. How can I help you? Well, maybe you're looking to build your real estate deal. Maybe you need some creative capital. I talked to one group today, another family. They're looking to buy a piece of real estate and subdivide it into 6 different commercial parcels and then sell them to 6 different developers. I have somebody for each parcel. So how can I help you? Just give me a call and let's talk about it. There's one thing you always need to remember, and that's when you call me, it's, you got it, always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
I love that opening video. Drives past one of my signature deals, 1,000 museums. So thank you, Mr. Mendoza, for putting all that together. Let's bring Matt on real quick. We only have one more segment with Matt. I'm going to make sure we get all the information that we can out of Matt today, and then we'll have him back in a week or two. Matt Haggman, He is with the Beacon Council. He's the Executive Vice President in charge of Opportunity Miami. He's going to tell us what that means to us today. And Matt, I've lived here for a long time. The community's evolved. Tell me where we're headed.
So, Jim, thank you again for having me. And by the way, you do great reads on those ad reads. Terrific.
Thank you. It's off the top of my head. I'm not reading anything.
Really, really good.
Thank you.
So, as we think about sort of what's next for our economic future, Jim, we really hit upon that there are three things that are in front of us that Miami needs to continue to do well. And if Miami does these three things well, Miami wins, right? Number one, all the work around entrepreneurship and innovation, that work has to continue, right? I mean, if we look back over the last 20 years, for example, virtually all net new job growth comes from new businesses, comes from businesses that are 5 years or younger. This is a trend that's only going to increase due to technology moving forward. And the cities that will win, the cities that will have economic success are the ones that have lots of company creation, lots and lots and lots of startup activity, lots of scale-up activity. Over the last 10 years, back when I was at Knight Foundation, now look what's happened during COVID. There's been lots of work done around building the tech and startup community. We must double, triple down on that work. Number two, talent and inclusion. Going forward, it's both going to be built on our colleges and universities, our traditional institutions of education, but also non-traditional going forward, right? It's certificate programs, it's boot camps, it's apprenticeships. And we're seeing that built out both through new for-profit entrepreneurial ventures, nonprofit ventures, but we're seeing lots of different ways in which people are building new skills. But the importance is going to be for communities going forward. And here in Miami is creating ways that people can build new skills quickly, affordably, in ways that align with their own lives and do it over and over again. The economy is changing too quickly. Already we see people who have having multiple chapters of their professional life. I include myself among that. That's only going to increase. And so we need to create ways where people can do that again and again and again. And that can be around lots of things. For example, we're seeing lots of efforts around developing ways in which people can build skills in coding, whether it's from FIU, dramatically increasing the size of their School of Computer Science, or whether it's boot camps where people can go to gain skills quickly and more affordably. So that's number two. Yeah, go ahead.
What's number three?
Number three is sustainability and resilience. And what I mean by this is seeing sustainability as something that can drive our economy and create jobs for a generation or more. That is that over the next 25 years, Jim, we're on a journey. We're transitioning our whole economy to one that is net zero, right? And on that journey, and we often talk about this challenge and the challenge of climate change as an existential issue, as an issue around saving the planet, all true. But it's also the business opportunity of our lifetime. And that is that as we lean in, as we make this transition, it will result in more new companies, more new jobs, more new industries. And the communities that really lean into this will be the ones that benefit. And Bill Gates wrote a book last year on this transition to a net zero economy, to decarbonizing our economy. And he said the countries that build, the places that build the great zero carbon companies of the future, those will be the ones that lead the global economy. Miami can be one of those places. Look, we're seeing this trend in the in the automotive industry right now. We're seeing cars, one car maker after another, who are all transitioning to emission-free cars. We're going to see that in every industry, not just from how we get around, to how we build things, to how we produce our foods, to how we cool and heat our homes and offices, to where we get our power from. The communities that really lean into that, those will be the places that benefit economically. Those will be the places that we see so many new jobs. And our thesis is that as we think about Miami's economic future, sustainability will be a driver of that future.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that. You can look at the technologies for sustainability that have been exported out of Europe, where people have had a long time exposure to things like sea level rise or a variety of sea level issues. So I can't wait. Like we said, Matt, we had a little bit of a technology problem, so we're going to give you more time around the break. Can you stick with us and give us a little more time?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jim. Sorry,
it's my pleasure, and I really do want to talk about the the ways that we can help people here expand the economy, because it's not only the young people. There's a whole generation that's starting to find themselves to be obsolete, and we have people that are moving here. There's all kinds of ways that the people need to integrate to create our new economy, and I think integration of everybody's skills is also something that we should be talking about.
It's going to be, I mean, we, in fact, tech-enabled communities, and tell me if I should stop, if we should talk about this on the other side. But tech-enabled community centers of innovation have really struggled to also create opportunity across the community. In fact, in many ways.
And that's where we're going to pick it up, because that's the thing. You talked about inclusion and then you went blank, and that's what I want to get back to. Mendoza, rock the world. All right, I did not do any deals on Mars, Mr. Mendoza, but I'm trying. I'm working on it. Hey, remember, everybody, we want to thank our sponsors at Warren Henry. They've been with us since 2013. We love the folks over there. They treat us like gold. They're our family. We love them. We celebrate birthdays with them, new arrivals, everything. So when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to become a member of the Warren Henry family. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audi. Down in the Keys, they sell all the great nameplates. What do all those cars have in common? Well, besides being great cars, they come with the Warren Henry Advantage. And that's a whole list of different services that you get. It includes, of course, if you need to leave your car, they'll give you a loaner car, free service loaner car. They'll give you new keys. You lose those keys. Well, I keep looking down at my keys. That's where they are. If you lose your keys, well, those cost $100 to replace. They'll replace them for free. Your rims, I scratch my rims all the time. You like your rims, don't you? Well, if you want them looking good, they'll help you polish up your rims. And they'll guarantee that you're getting a great price on your used car. They'll guarantee that your trading car. They'll guarantee you're getting a great price on the new car you're buying. And you get 72 hours to exchange your car if you don't like it. Nobody exchanges because they all love those cars. They're tremendous. So join my beautiful wife, Vivian, lots and lots of my friends, my mom, hey, Mom, and I said lots and lots of my friends. So lots of people I know. Anyway, we're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
It's time to stop the hate and spread some love. You are beautiful, you're smart, you are awesome, and you never have to change for anybody. You have the voice and you have the power. We are so much stronger when we come together. It's your choice, so choose to be inspired. Choose to be accepting, be strong, be brave, be awesome, be daring, be kind. Choose kindness.
Hey, and reach out to me. I have one of the solutions to Matt's issues here. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But I work with a lot of families, a lot of multiple generations, and I help them achieve their business goals. My personal brand is that I self-actualize by helping other people achieve their dreams and goals. Reach out to me, DM me, call me. Let me help you capitalize or rethink your real estate transaction. And remember, whenever you reach out to me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're back with another segment here on Freed on Business. We're going to bring Matt Haggman back on. Matt, we had a couple of technical difficulties, so Matt had a couple of points we need to make with him. Matt is the is a new EVP. He's been an EVP over at the Beacon Council, the public-private partnership that brings new business, retains business, and visions the future of our economy. How did I get that in like with no even a breath in there, Matt? How about it? Welcome back.
Well, Jim, how did you get Carrie Underwood to record that little bit for your program? That's pretty cool.
I'm the man, the myth, and the legend. I have great guests. I have great drop-ins like that. That's really, I want to thank Wanda Miles for putting that together back in the day when we were at 880. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, we were talking about how we have to integrate the economy. We have to keep the economy moving forward. I get calls all the time from people that are obsolete. How do they reimagine themselves, reinvent themselves? On the other side, I have all these young people that call me and they ask me, how can they get involved in the business? So what I find is I'm mentoring people on entry. I'm mentoring people on repositioning. I'm mentoring people on exit. My gosh, Matt, everybody's changing. Everybody's changing all the time. And you did too. Matt, how are we going to position our workforce and our economy for the future?
Well, I mean, I think a key thing is creating ways in which people can build, as I said earlier, build new skills quickly, affordably, in ways that align with their own lives. By that, I mean, some people have childcare issues, right? And so that going to, spend your afternoon at FIU or Miami-Dade College for a class, that actually there are other issues that get in the way of that. And so providing ways in which people can, whether it's doing a 16-week program at MDC to become a Tesla a car technician, or doing something at Warren Henry, who a supporter of your program, or whether
they train lots of kids in high school. They have a whole thing where they bring kids in there and they train them all the time. I've seen these guys are amazing. They're not just my sponsors. No,
absolutely
inspire me. They inspire me.
Well, and doing that at the community at scale, those are the communities that are going to win. And in fact, what we've seen is in primary centers of innovation around the world, what's been a real challenge is that actually it's been sort of it's hastened, not eased, income inequality. And already here in South Florida, here in Miami, we've already are faced with that. In fact, and rankings of among the most unequal metropolitan areas in the country. And I love Miami. Miami is my home.
Yeah, I don't want to be number one on this one, but I know we are.
We're on the top 10 list. In fact, on the top 5 list, we're on that too.
So
now, as we become more tech-enabled, that the risk is that gap even widens further.
Yeah, well, that's what we need to do, Matt, is we need to find a way to integrate everything. And it goes everywhere from having mixed-use integrated finance, integrated housing at the different metro stops, to having, I call them 15-minute neighborhoods where everybody can live together and have a beautiful life. There's a lot of things that the community can do from a development standpoint, from a land planning standpoint, and from taking some of these technologies and helping people out. Matt, I shortchanged you.
Jim, I thank you for having me. It's a real honor. I hope you'll have me back at some point. But
within the next 2 or 3 weeks. No.
Okay.
This is too important. The next empty thing we have, you're coming on, you're getting the full thing, because, we joked about we were just trying to do it, and I slammed you in to make sure I got you on, but really, Matt, it's too important. And when we start talking about income inequality and all the other things, it's going to be a real hot summer in the United States about a lot of this.
100%. So, Jim, if I could just, you can learn more about us at opportunity.miami. Thank you for putting it on the screen on social channels, on Twitter, on Instagram, and LinkedIn, at Opportunity MIA. Subscribe to our newsletter. I write it personally. That hits your inbox every Tuesday. So I thank you for the opportunity, Jim. I hope you enjoy F1 this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. And my apologies to Andreas and Bekah for eating into some of their time and talking about marketing technology and branding and all of that. But I thank you, Jim. Really appreciate the time.
Matt, you're a tremendous asset to the community. I want to thank you for staying here. We're going to talk about the next time brain drain. We're going to talk about retention. We're going to talk about building and rebuilding the assets here in Miami, all those things. You're a tremendous, tremendous person. And I also have to say, thank you for tossing your hat in the ring when you ran for Congress. That wasn't easy to do, man. You're the man.
Oh, Jim, thank you. I so appreciate it. It's so great to be with you, and talk soon. See you at Starbucks in the Grove soon, too.
Yes, you will. All right. Well, we're not going to go to break this time. We're just going to swipe the screen and bring our other guests on. So, Mr. Mendoza, let's tee it up for the branding crew. There they are. Thank you for being patient. We were talking about my brand, Miami, and everything else, but you're the ones that make it tick. You help me do everything from create the background to create the image, everything like that. Andreas Senie from CRECo.ai and Bekah Carlson, Carlson Integrated, welcome back to the show. And Mr. Mendoza, where were you?
Yeah, get in here, Regan.
I got to do my post stuff. I'm doing my producer duties right now.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, listen, welcome to the show. And I want to tell everybody that I've been really evaluating my social media, how I do everything, the way we do things. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that because Andreas hasn't been on the show for a while. We've been working on getting that better. Andreas is really helping me with my social media. Rebecca's helping me manage my messaging, and Mr. Mendoza is helping me put on my virtual presentation. So like just a couple seconds, then we'll go to break and we'll come back and kick it around again. Andreas, what's up with CRECo these days? How's CRECo expanding and helping people doing their business?
It's helping professionals connect to like-minded professionals doing deals in the same asset classes at the same deal size that's needed to get the deal done. It's LinkedIn without the noise, many aspects. One screen, one goal, one execution, online in one place.
We're getting a really bad signal. What's going on, Mendoza? Is it me? Is it them? What's going on here today?
I don't know. I'm working on Andreas's microphone right now, but unfortunately,
Thank you.
I don't want to encourage Matt since he's
All
not
right.
here. I think
All right. Well, Rebecca, tell us how Carlson Integrated is evolving and your new ideas to help me with with everything that we're doing. Because we've evolved and you're doing new things with us.
We have definitely evolved. And my favorite piece of that is the honing of the messaging strategy and the most recent piece of recognizing that not only do I know that you're somebody who does it all, but that we can start marketing that and really drilling that message home that you have such a vast experience and such a vast capability that making sure that it comes through in your messaging is really, really crucial. So that's been a really big change and modification of our messaging, and it's been really exciting and really fun.
Yeah, and it's important to me because I really don't do everything. What I do is only one thing. And that one thing is that I self-actualize by helping other people achieve their dreams and goals. And that's really why I do multiple different things,
Right.
because different people have different things that they need my help on. Like I spent the morning with one client helping them get their residential mortgage done, telling them that in order to get the rate they wanted, that they needed to buy it down. They weren't happy, but they wanted the rate. That's not my issue. That's, they had to do that. And then I just got distracted by the telephone. Never have the telephone next to you when you're doing the podcast. No, some guy called me that I haven't talked to in at least 10 years, and I couldn't take the call, but I'm wondering what it's all about. It's freaking me out. But the fact is that I only do one thing, but I do the one thing multiple ways. Wow, I just came up with that on the fly. But this is, by the way, we said we'd show you the secret sauce. This is it right here. We get on and we spitball. Yeah. And that's what we do. I love the term spitball. Once I was in elementary school and I hit the clock with a spitball. It stayed up there for 3 years. I used a blue napkin. Got it right. It was up there 3 years. Couldn't believe it. It was, that's, Dade County Public Schools. What are you going to do?
Oh, man.
So listen, while Andreas gets his thing fixed and everybody else fixes their stuff, we're going to go to an early break and then we'll come back with more kibitzing about personal branding. Back after this, Mendoza, it's yours. I got to tell Mike Kesty that we got all the NASA pictures on. He's a real NASA guy. So is our friends at Inland. They like NASA too. I like Warren Henry. In fact, I love Warren Henry. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry for always being there for us. as the auto industry evolves, Warren Henry evolves with it. They've done all kinds of incredible new, neat things. I just want to thank them so much. They just got me my brand new Infiniti QX60. What a tremendous vehicle. My wife loves it. The insurance company didn't even have it on the insurance list of cars. It was so brand new. So when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne. Down in the Keys, they've got all the great nameplates. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. What do all these cars have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry advantage. And that's a whole group of services that you get when you buy your car. It starts with, if you need a loaner, they give you a free loaner. If you scrape your rims, they'll help you polish up your rims. If you lose your keys, they'll replace the keys. It goes on and on and on. You know, if you want to sell them your car, they'll guarantee you get a great price. If you're buying from them, they're going to guarantee you got a great price, and they give you 72 hours to decide whether you like your car or not. If you don't, you can return it. Guess what? Everybody likes their car. Nobody returns it. So join my beautiful wife, my mom, lots and lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
This is Bekah Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Bekah, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Hey, and reach out, DM me. Oh, by the way, Rebecca and her team help me look good all the time. Well, as good as I can look, at least. Hey, but DM me, reach out to me, give me a call. I help real estate families, real estate operating companies, and institutions execute their real estate plans. I'm working with some really creative structures right now that help me get to 91% of cost for multifamily and industrial construction loans. A combination of a stretch loan, a mezz, and some pref equity. In fact, I'm going to meet my investors right after this about that program. So if you're looking to execute a creative real estate plan, or you just need it right down the middle executed well, call me, because I help. Whenever you call me, remember, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Well, we're back and we're talking to my personal branding team about how I help create and manage my image. We're back with Andreas Senie from CRECo.ai. REAGAN Mendoza, who's my producer, and of course, Bekah Carlson, who is our marketing director. And I wanted to just say one thing here, is yesterday I went to a meeting, and while I was walking up on REAGAN, it was right by that restaurant that we were at the other day. And so I walked in, I had a meeting in the building, and when I was walking through the restaurant that was still under construction, the owner of the building came up to me and said, "I know you." I said, "How can you possibly know me? I'm wearing a full face covering mask." He goes, "No, I know you." I go, "Okay. How?" He goes, "I get your flyer." I go, "Well, thank you for not opting out." But there you go in a nutshell. It's not about what I'm talking about. It's about the overall global impact. And so, Andreas, let's talk a little bit about that, because I was complaining a little bit over the weekend about how CRECo puts out my stuff, how I don't support it. I don't know when it goes out. It's a waste of time. And then I realized it's not a waste of time. People I know are seeing it. I don't have to support it. It goes out naturally. Why is that?
Well, it is intelligently promoting you out across your different networks and audiences and social media. And just like in any sales any business, you have to be in front of your consumer, potential consumer, all the time. Marketing 101, not to jump over to that side. How often can I say hi to you, Jim, to make sure that when I need financing, I'm thinking of you, right? And vice versa. And that's what the system does. It puts your brand, your profile, remember this is real estate only platform, into the hands of the right people over and over again, so you are top of mind.
You know, and I really, it's putting out content. The content is good, but here's the part where we all come together with the integrated part. You need to create new content.
Well, that's Bekah's world. I can help you.
You're leading. What are you stepping on her for?
I'll leave it to you, Bekah. Content.
Well, content is crucial, and I was thinking about it. So when Matt, who was just on in the prior segment, was talking about his newsletter, and he was saying, "Sign up for my newsletter. I write it myself." You know, each of us has our own voice, and Jim has done a really good job of communicating that voice. And for those of you who are not connected to Jim on LinkedIn, you really, really should be, because he does videos every single day, and REAGAN has really done a great job of training Jim and teaching Jim how to produce his own content, so REAGAN doesn't have to do it all the time for him. So he can self-create great content and have it go on the LinkedIn platform. And one of the ways that we are modifying Jim's social and some of his outreach right now is to make sure that we're getting that same great content onto other platforms.
Yes.
Because
That's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to talk about. Because each platform is different. Each platform has different ways to talk on it. But your content has to be consistent. And I'll tell you how I'm learning how to do this. I'm watching the political candidates. The political candidates, not to see what they're saying, to see how they say it.
Absolutely.
Okay? To see how they say it. And the message is different on every one of the platforms. They'll use the same picture or the same video, but they'll talk differently to different people. And that's where I'm falling short right now. That's where I'm falling short. But Andreas, so I have a creative idea. I want to get the creative idea out there. How does CRECo help me?
You call Bekah. But if you've got an asset or a deal, or you need a funding partner like yourself, a developer, you go on CRECo. Real estate professionals only. That is the median. That is the marketplace. Deals, collaboration, connections, and transactions.
So I should put my programs on CRECo is what you're telling me.
We've got a few of your past deals, and they trend well on your social media, Jim. I mean, Bekah has the analytics as well, I'm sure, from her control center. The social media side of our system, and for the audience that hasn't heard me say it, I was the guy who said that Twitter was for people that can't write and Instagram's for people that can't read. Problem is, my clients are there, my customers are there. So now we are there. It is a connected universe. COVID helped us realize that.
I didn't really think that Twitter had a big impact, and then I saw somebody like something that I had on Twitter. So I've just now started doing it on Twitter again, and I'm not really doing anything big. All I'm doing is taking the YouTube thing, and when it says share on Twitter, all I do is hit share, and they go, "Here's today's post. Enjoy."
Yeah, but it's just like you going to Art Miami, right? You go to Basel every year. Has nothing to do with finance. How many deals have come out of that? You have to be where your clients are, where your network is. That's your net worth, and that's the same online.
Oh my God! You heard the guy. You heard Matt say, "I'll see you at Starbucks." I get a deal out of Starbucks every week, just sitting there. Well, it's a non-threatening place. In the beginning, I used to think that people avoided Starbucks because there I was sitting at my table every day. But what really is happening is that they're coming. I had an attorney ask me to meet the other day, financing source a couple of days ago. It's where I meet all the young people that I mentor because it's a really neutral place where nothing weird happens, at least not outside in front where I sit.
It's an interesting Starbucks. I do the home Keurig brew. Nothing.
Hey now, well, yeah, your Starbucks isn't on the waterfront in Coconut Grove, the world's most beautiful place to live.
That is very fair.
Come on. Now, Mr. Mendoza, let's you and I talk for a minute, and I think we should roll over maybe an extra 5 minutes. I don't think anybody's going to mind, and we could use, I want to give everybody their content time here. So, Mr. Mendoza, we've been evolving, and I think it's our next show. We're going to be doing a live remote where we're going to do all kinds of token content and everything else. Just a little bit about what we did to prepare for that. You're You're my collaborator on stuff like that. Tell people what you did to help me set that up.
Well, we're still in the process of setting it up, but first thing we did was we made contact with the venue, which is the Paramount. Is a beautiful, gorgeous space at a fantastic building in downtown Miami. We made first contact, then we actually went over and saw the space and worked out all the logistics, of which I'm, still talking to people, working out, where are microphones going to be set up? Where are we putting up a stage? What's going on in the backdrop? What's our visuals? What's our audios? So it's a lot of technical stuff that goes over a lot of people's heads. Fortunately for you, Jim, you have me, and I speak tech geek, and I speak I speak technical to all the other people, so that when it comes down
English
to that,
to me.
That's it. I'm like a translator, so I talk all about XLR cables and HDMI's, and I do all of that, and then I go back to Jim and I go, okay, you're going to sit over here, and these guys are going to sit over here, and we're going to have these types of microphones, and it's going to look great. And that's how we do it. And we spend a lot of time setting it up because, I've said this about, my job all the time, which is when I do my job really well, it's a lot of setup. And then as soon as we go live, it looks like I haven't done anything. And that's how that those of us that are handling tech and stuff behind the scenes are doing a really good job, because you don't know we're here.
Now, Andreas, how does CRECo amplify and promote this collateral content? Is there a way to get that up on CRECo too?
Absolutely. So the CRECo.ai platform has that ability to connect and collaborate internally, just like a LinkedIn. The difference being everything is based in real estate language. What do? I want to talk to brokers. How do I want to talk to brokers? Well, I want to message them about a property. I click on the property. When you start going into the world of marketing, the assets, the collateral, those properties, those deals, your profile are there to share, to post, to leverage. But then that goes over to Bekah's realm. There is a posting tool, My Social. It's fantastic. We'll help you promote, and you can promote whatever you want there automatically. But the highest return we've seen, as an example, is on Facebook when brokerages start promoting their people on Facebook. That trends much higher than promoting deals on LinkedIn. And that's their own analytics based on their own posts. If we were to talk about the Starbucks, I don't know how that would work. I'd leave that to Bekah and her analytics, but it'd be interesting. It's just a question of what. It's about doing it, adjusting it, and then accelerating on what is working. And that's what the system lets you do.
Well, I think that we need to do a look back on all of the things that are trending and find out the things that people like the most, because I keep putting it out there. And I'm driving what is interesting to me, and I'm assuming that that's interesting to other people. Bekah, what do you see that's trending on our stuff that people like the most?
So people love Miami content. So there's a passion for the local. That is of course, a big piece of who you are. People also really enjoy when you have guests on that are perceived experts in their field. Maybe some have broader followings and broader presence, even in their own industries, and that does attract people from other fields. I think about all of the tokenization conversations that you've had lately. I mean, you really brought in a whole new perspective and a whole new market.
Wait till next week. We're going to rip the cover off the ball on it next week.
So those pieces are really important of keeping it fresh and keeping it new. And again, knowing your audience.
There you go.
And just if I may, so I'm looking here, Jim,
yes, you may.
I just used the God view, and no one take offense to how I said that. It's beeped into your account. Your April 6th show, Doing Deals at Biz Now, highest trending show on YouTube, as an example. And I can go channel by channel with your permission.
Wait a minute. So Doing Deals with Biz Now?
Doing Deals at Biz Now was the title of your show. Was the highest performing channel on YouTube.
When was that?
April 6th at 8:16 a.m.
All that was a hey, I'm here. That's all that was.
Maybe you need to do more of that at new places.
I think, yeah, exactly. And I think that speaks to what what Bekah was just saying, which is sometimes cross-pollinating with other people that again are experts in their industry, and like we're saying about what we're doing next week, opening up to new technologies and new ideas. It's beneficial not only for you and for us as the team and the content creators, but for the audience.
Right.
We need to get the social handles from them because they'll get social with us. In fact, let's talk about that. I'm gonna send a special email to them. Put that on our to-do list for them, Mr. Mendoza. We need all their handles. We asked for them, but now we got to demand it.
Yeah,
we got to demand it.
Well, and it's like your elevator pitch, right? You're always fine-tuning how and what you say and when you say it. And social, firmly think is the same way. Who you are and how you present that is something that can always be improved. Maybe not you, Jim, but the rest of us.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm always improving. I'm going to leave right now, and I'm going to make an improved presentation. I'm going to go drive into downtown for lunch, which I haven't done in 3 years. I'm going to park at a surface lot for $25, which I haven't done in a long time. And then I'm going to go meet one of my investors because he's worth every penny of the $25 to go have lunch with, because I'm sure he's going to pick it up. And even if he doesn't, he's worth $150 to have lunch with because he's the man. And he's a wonderful person that I enjoy being with. And no, he's not been on the show because he's my financial source. And I'm not going to put him on the show. I did see Scarface. Once the guy meets your supplier, he doesn't need you anymore.
That's right.
I love it.
So, Bekah, one final shout out, to the team. I'd love it if you could talk a little bit. We have two other people besides you that we work with, Bray and Christy. Talk a little bit give you another minute or so because we're over time, but talk a little bit about them because they really make it go for us.
Well, one of the best things I ever did or had the opportunity to do was to grow a team. And so Bree and Christy are two of the first people that joined my company when I started, and they're both just wicked smart. They're much smarter than I am. Actually, they should be on the show and not me, quite frankly. They're very, very bright, very smart. Christy's an incredible writer. Bree is an incredible strategist. So we have a full team that works with you because we want to give you our best. Because you are always giving everyone else your best. I
get your best, okay? And we're going to modify everything so that it really is playing to all of their strengths. We'll bring in supplementary people, probably Mr. Mendoza, to help me with some other stuff. And I've got some interns this summer that can't wait to get started with us as well.
Oh, fun.
It's going to be great. You're going to love them. One's my nephew. Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. He's going to come visit for at least 2 weeks. I'm hoping to make him stay longer. And Andreas, you get the last word here. So what's the last word about CRECo.ai? What can we expect new from CRECo coming up?
The ability to connect, research, execute, and collaborate online through one simple portal, easily and efficiently with all the support you need. It's technology made simple. Those that hate it, but we all need it.
We do. And Mr. Mendoza, we're going to see you at your best next Wednesday. And I want to remind everybody, this is Freed on Business. I want to thank everybody for joining us today on Freed on Business. We'll be on next Wednesday at noon, live from the Paramount's Recreation Deck, when we're going to be talking about real estate tokenization with one of the biggest real estate token exchanges, as well as a huge influencer in the space. It's going to be really cool. Yes, I said influencer person has like 8 million followers. So we're going to see what this all means to building your brand with Freed on Business. But remember, the person that means the most is you, the listener. Without you, I wouldn't have a show. I want to thank Andreas. I want to thank Rebecca. I want to thank Matt. I want to thank Regan for joining me today. I want to, of course, thank you. And remember, the person that wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America. Mr. Mendoza, the rest of the show is yours.